This is your boy Leon D. We're going to talk about a lot of things on this podcast, primarily food. I like to talk about food a lot, but we're going to talk about food around the world. We're going to talk about some other things that's going to touch your heart or make you mad. It really don't matter, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you about it though. DJ Leon D. Peace. Let's get it on. Welcome back, family. This is your boy DJ Leon D. I'm going to talk to you about a subject that really is nasty when I think about it now. You know, we're going to talk about TV dinners or frozen meals or prepared meals that are cold. We're going to talk about it because, the other day I went to a friend of mine's house and he said, get some ice out of the refrigerator. Not a big deal. Now, this friend of mine is 60 years old. Not a big deal. But I looked up there and he had about 20 TV dinners in his refrigerator, in the freezer part. And he's married. So it's him and his wife in the house. And he has a grandkid. And yet he can cook very, very well. I was totally shocked because you know what? When it comes to TV dinners, that's one of those things in life that when you grow up, it's all right. But your mom and daddy bought it for you because of convenience. But when you get older, like maybe 12, 13, you realize that TV dinners are nasty as hell. I remember when my aunt would have like Swanson's, and then she'd have banquets, and she'd have a lot of hungry man dinners in there. But let me tell you, those things are loaded with salt, with sodium. They're loaded. That's why they last forever. That's why you can freeze them forever. It's almost like eating an astronaut meal, but not being an astronaut, because they have fish sticks with fries. Who eats fries months later? That's nasty. And all of them have mashed potatoes and carrots and peas and beans, and then the favorite one my uncle used to eat all the time was the turkey dinner. He would eat, and then sometimes he would eat two of them at one sitting. That's nasty. And then you got the fried chicken. But the thing that gets me is that he's a damn good cook. My friend who had all these TV dinners, and I remember TV dinners kind of remind me of pot pies that you see in your grocery store. Yeah, pot pies. Pot pies are all right when when you want a good meal, or not a good meal, a quick meal during the wintertime. You might get a pot pie. But when you become an adult with a salary or income, no, you don't eat that stuff anymore. You eat adult food, which means that you got to go cook something that's decent and balanced. But I remember barbecue chicken in a TV dinner. I remember ribs, veal parmesan, meatloaf. Like I said earlier, I remember these TV dinners, and my aunt had a variety of them, and I was like, okay, she eating something different every day. Not a big deal. But they had macaroni and cheese meals by banquet, just macaroni and cheese and nothing else. That was hard to believe. And then they'd have the 3 pieces of chicken, and you take one bite and find out it's all skin. You eat all 3 pieces, you madder in hell because you go, yeah, I had the taste of chicken, but I didn't have chicken, which is a hell of a difference. So, my thing is, what makes a grown man want to buy a Salisbury steak dinner? Pressed meat with brown gravy on it. You always got peas and carrots and mashed potatoes. It's almost like they thought they were giving you a balanced meal. Now, saying that, TV dinners are very, very cheap. They are very, very cheap. That's why a lot of people buy them, because they are very, very cheap. But your body's gonna kick it out of its system in about 10 minutes after it eats that TV dinner. And some places had a dessert, like a little pie, with the TV dinner. Yep, they had pies. They had little hot apples or whatever it was. It was just, and then they have butter on the mashed potatoes if they didn't have gravy. Now that butter is old as hell. Now, butter can age very, very well, but it just, think about macaroni and cheese. You got cheese in there that's been frozen forever. But if you got grandkids and you can't cook for them, you should not babysit them. They should never be over your house. If you got grandkids and you got a TV dinner for them as dinner, something is wrong with that whole scenario. If you keeping my kids, you're not feeding them that. I'd rather for you to eat beefaroni out of a can. I prefer that because that's loaded with sodium as well. I mean, I prefer that kind of stuff. And now, you got those ones called kid cuisine. What is cuisine about a damn TV dinner that a machine makes? What is nice about that? But people are just lazy. I have a catering business, and the reason it's successful because people will pay for food because of a number of reasons. The first reason, they're lazy. Second reason, they don't know how to cook. Because my catering prices are not cheap. Now, some people don't have the time, and then a lot of people go to the catering business because they don't want their friends or relatives bringing food to a family dining event. They already know that Aunt Esther is going to bring some shit you don't like that she made in 1925. They already know that. And she's going to bring it whether I cater to the event or not. And she wants to sit right next to me. It's kind of like TV dinners. I always think about the Swanson fried chicken classic there. And then the grossest thing they ever had was hot dogs and beans. Oh yeah, that was a big seller. And I can tell you, I know it was a big seller because a lot of my relatives bought it. So I'm talking about TV dinners right now. And some of you are going to have one tonight when you listen to this video. And then you're going to think to yourself, what the hell did I just have? Or what the hell did I just do? Oh yeah, you're going to think about all that. And my whole thing is, go to Golden Corral. That's nasty. It may cost a couple dollars more, but that food is nasty there too. Buffets are nasty in general. And if you go to a buffet, you see certain people, because to them, buffet is a fat person heaven. They are eating a bunch of TV dinner style foods. Quickly made, cheap, the lowest cut of meat there is, the lowest cut of everything. You go to Albertsons, Kroger's, Publix, Winn-Dixie, Safeway, Giant. They are getting the best that particular manufacturer has. When you go a buffet, they got the leftovers. There's a big, big difference. They got the leftovers. They don't have the best greens. They don't have the best cuts of meat. No. No, they don't. They're getting the leftovers. And a TV dinner is the exact same way. You have no idea what Banquet, Swanson, you have no idea what pieces of meat they got from who. And they're not going to tell you. I went to the grocery store and they had probably 8 different brands of TV dinners. They all like Stouffer's, Stouffer's even do TV dinners. And Stouffer's got famous for their frozen foods because of mac and cheese and lasagna. That's how they got famous. And then they decided to branch out into all this other stuff. So my whole point to all of you is that, you can get Uber Eats. Now, everybody got a price point on everything they do in life. But you can get Uber Eats or DoorDash or whatever. Feed your grandkid. Hell, they probably feeding their own kids like adults, that stuff. Mom, you got anything to eat? Yeah, we got 5 kind of TV dinners in there. You want dessert or no dessert? Because we got them, we got them both ways. Yeah. People are just flat out lazy. And TV dinners, it's like Leave It to Beaver. It's like a Leave It to Beaver a comedy show when you see one in someone's house, You see them in grocery stores all the time. But you don't see them in Costco. You don't see them in Sam's Club either. And so, when you get a TV dinner, you finna have a salt or sodium attack. You finna have one. It's kind of like, when I think of TV dinners, it reminds me of Spam. Now, I know a lot of Polynesians, they love their Spam. Spam is strictly the nuts and the butts of a pig. That's how Spam is. Spam is just short of being thrown away by the butcher. The butcher said, "Hey, I got this excess fat, and you can't put testicles on the label of food. No one's gonna do that because no one's gonna eat it. It's like eating chitlins. If you knew where chitlins came from, you would not eat it. But some people say, oh, it's a delicacy. No, chitlins was food, the intestines of a pig that they gave to slaves. Yes, that's what chitlins were. So you knew slaves had the lowest cut of everything. That's what Spam is. And you go to Hawaii, they treat Spam like it's a rib. I mean, it's really, really a delicacy. I mean, so it's one of those things that you got to tell yourself, if you're eating that, you got to tell yourself, I'm poor or I'm broke. You got to tell yourself that. If you don't not tell yourself that, you are delusional as hell. Spam is not a delicacy. Even though nowadays, I was in Costco, they had pallets full of Spam. It wasn't like someone ordered it. No, there might have been a couple of thousand cans in there. No, and people were buying it. I know a lot of people who go camping and some of the Asian Americans, no, I can't blame it on them. It's the Polynesians. Spam is poor people food. Some foods you have when you grew up, it's because your mom and daddy didn't have a lot of money. It don't mean you don't have a lot of money. It means your parents didn't. And, God bless them, they did the best they could do. Because a lot of parents shop strictly by price. I did that, I think, when I was in my early 20s. It's kind of like ramens. People eat ramen noodles, I just see the sodium intake. And any food that's long shelf life is full of salt. Salt is the only thing that can preserve food and make it long shelf life. Yeah, it's the salt. But a TV dinner, even if I had my grandkids over, I wouldn't have like 20 of them sitting there in the freezer unless he's living with me. But I'm not feeding him that. I might have to hire somebody to cook food. And it's not like this buddy of mine makes minimum wage. He's a salaried man. If you get a flat salary, you can afford to eat decent food. Even if you just do some rice and some piece of steak or rice and something else, hell, I'd rather eat rice and bacon. Just those two before I eat a TV damn dinner. And then they would show it to you on a plate and you take it out of the package, like Hungry Man. We knew it was gonna be a little tin pan thing. And the good thing about it, you can't put it in the microwave. You gotta put it in the oven. But young kids nowadays, I know they put it in the microwave. And I remember when my cousin one time told me he had cornbread, he had a little piece of apple, and he had cranberries, and he had turkey, and he had dressing, all in one TV dinner for Thanksgiving. And he invited me over. And I was like, he ain't finna feed me. He's not gonna feed me a damn TV dinner for Thanksgiving. But it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad thought. Because I thought about it. I said, damn, that way you ain't got no waste. The kids are happy. The adults, all they really want to do is drink and look at football. I can just give them TV dinners. And if you want more, not a problem. I got additional ones in the refrigerator. Imagine how easy it would be to clean up a Thanksgiving dinner with all your family if you gave them all TV dinners. Imagine that. Life gets simple when you think about some of the creations that we have nowadays that's been around 70, 80 years, and we never thought about it. Life would be very, very easy. And hell, if you don't want turkey, I'll get a ham TV dinner with all the same fixings on the side. And the one thing that kind of jumped out at me one time when I was looking at TV dinner in the grocery store, I saw one with cornbread in it. I'm not a fan of frozen bread of any type, unless it's garlic bread that I'm saving to go with my spaghetti or lasagna or some kind of Italian meal. I'm not a fan of frozen bread. Not at all. So my whole point was, when my friend did it, or when I saw it last week, it just triggered something in me. I'm thinking, just gives me flashbacks to when I was younger. And there was nothing good about what I ate over my aunt's house. Nothing good. There was absolutely nothing good about what I ate at her house. It was always something that it was always something that you wonder, how did she even think to do this? And then it was always something that I would think to myself, I can't believe we're eating this again. And then I found out later on that my aunt couldn't cook. I didn't know that. And she would always say, I said, Auntie, what are we having for dinner tonight? We having God's creation. And then because lunch, we just had Spam. And I just say, we had Spam and a TV dinner. Once I told my mother how my aunt fed us, that was the last time my mom let my aunt feed us. She was always like, no, you're going to have all kind of high blood pressure, all kind of medical problems when you get older. Now, mind you, I'm 12 years old. And, you think you're invincible. And I say, well, Auntie, Mom, she fries the Spam and give us cheese out of a can. My mom's like, okay, God bless him. He just don't know. And when I got older, I knew what cheese came out of can. I knew all this stuff. I knew about Spam. I knew, I knew about the long shelf life, and I knew it was one of the few meats I ever saw in my life that came out of a can. My mom said, it's meat because it's come off a pig. It ain't meat because it's good. And that's what I really understood about bone-in food, because TV dinners never had the bone in them. Except no, that's not true. Swanson did on the chicken. They did on the chicken, I must admit. The rest of it never had bones. Nope. So my whole point is, do your family a favor. Get them some decent food and be upfront with them. Hey, I got a TV dinner because that's all I can afford. And then the one thing that my cousin used to have all the time, he loved the French fries out of a TV dinner because they were crinkly. He loved the crinkle fries. And they were the only ones, when I was growing up, that I saw crinkle fries all the time. They were the only ones. And then you got Hungry Man. Oh, you give me more of this nasty ass food. I get 4 pieces of chicken versus 3. Now my uncle, that's what he wanted. I want the big pieces. I want this, I want that. And it was only a quarter more to buy Hungry Man's versus the banquet smaller sizes. So, you get beef, chicken, turkey, ham, you have meatloaf. I mean, and now I would tell you, the only thing I like about TV dinners a lot was that the corn or vegetables, it was not very, very much of it when you got it. So your auntie or your mom would say, eat the vegetables, not a problem. It ain't many of them any damn way. And there's no broccoli sprouts. Nope, none at all. So in my world, I would not feed my grandkids. Matter of fact, I'm never going to feed my grandkids TV dinners. I'm never going to let a guest see a TV dinner in my house. If I bought TV dinners, I would have a different freezer downstairs or in the garage where they can't see them. Because frankly, it's embarrassing. It's like having Spam on your shelf in your pantry and someone sees it. Canned meat. I don't know who in their right mind thought that canned meat was a good idea, but it sells. So you got a lot of people out here who just, matter of fact, I seen Spam in Costco. It came 6 to a pack. People were buying it. They were buying it. I just couldn't believe it. So, TV dinners have never been good, never will be good. Some of you love it because I told you why. Fat, lazy, and cheap. I would buy myself some hot dogs, some mustard, bread, and relish. The relish would be my vegetable, I guess, in that situation. But I would definitely look at life totally different and be asking myself, how bad is my life? Because if you're eating TV dinners and Spam, your life is bad. You ain't got to ask nobody. I just told you, your life is bad. I don't care what excuse you use. I don't care what you say. Your life is bad. It could only get better. I've seen retirees retire and revert back to the food they ate when they were growing up. Life ain't fair. No one ever said that. But it can only get so bad if you let it. So this is your boy DJ Leon D. This episode has been about TV dinners. They are gross, nasty, and they should not be in anybody's refrigerator or freezer where someone else can see them. That should not be the case. This is your boy DJ Leon. I'm out.